don't pull back.
Yeah, there's this other guy who I follow who trades, and he said these past 2 weeks have been slow for him too.
Good. I'm glad it's just not us, or not me at least.
But that's why on Monday I was like, when I seen the market coming down to my 90-minute demand, I was pretty patient to be like, all right, let me see what happens at it, because I knew FOMC was the next 2 days. So I was like, this week could be pretty stale. So I was really trying to see what would happen at my
Mhm.
at my zone. But I did realize that, well, starting from like observing Carmine on Friday, um, how he trades, it convinced me that yes, he can take more trades, and his frequency of trading is a lot more, but the the amount of losses he has to take makes sense, because I was looking at like his reversal from all-time highs yet on Friday, and he took one which was the same exact setup that he ended up winning on, but um what, like, how do I say it? I'm sharing my screen so you guys can see it. So I screenshotted it off. Oh, here it is. I didn't get the best screenshot of both, but so this is the first trade he took.
I've
So
only seen Discord.
what?
I only see Discord.
God damn it. Right here. How do I change the screen again? Oh, wait, no, that's not it.
I see it now.
All right. So this right here was the, ignore the right side. This was like over here.
Mhm.
The first sell off from all time highs. So he was looking at this large red sell in here, and he was looking at to get in on the next pop to short down. And you can see here it sold off very aggressively, and then he got in on this pop and entered here to get short, which is the same exact thing he did here. Uh,
Yeah.
it's aggressive selling here. He waited for that pop and then got short. So he's taking the same exact setup, but because his levels are off of order flow, his chances of getting stopped out are a lot higher than how we're trading the higher time frame levels, because those are like obviously higher time frame levels. So the chances of them working are way higher probability than the levels he's coming up with. So that's why we see him taking so many more trades, and his losses, he takes a lot more losses or break evens in his case, because he's using these aggressive sell offs and then waiting for a quick pop. Especially right now, he even said on his Instagram that in these conditions, this has been working for him. But he's also getting these moments where he gets in early, thinking it's the reversal, and then it ends up keep going. But he has the mental capability to try it again. Um,
I
but
also
now,
noticed that all these trades that he takes, his trade management is on point every single time.
yeah, for sure. And I think that's also part because of the way he enters. Like, he specifically waits for that heavy reaction, because he tries to not be the, I mean, obviously sometimes he is, but he tries to not be the first seller. So he lets that selling come in and doesn't get emotional about it. Like, he's like, okay, the sellers are here. Now let me just wait for a pop. But this pop is where I personally fuck up, because I'm like, how do I even, and that's where I think his order flow, I mean his footprint chart comes super handy, is that he can see something that I'm not seeing here, that he gets in like right here almost, and then his stop ends up being perfect, and then I think on this one he actually did take like a loss. I don't think he broke even on that one. Um, but yeah, the way I think he sees something on footprint chart that is not super clear to us with the book map.
Yeah.
But I'm the reason I'm saying that is because like yeah, we have to take trades like once, maybe we get two times a week, and he's able to take a trade every day almost. But that's because he's using these kinds of moves. But if we were to try to take those types of moves, we have to have that mental capability to take those losses because he does take pretty frequent losses or break evens.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me on the one trade that I won. I realized I needed to learn how to get back in even after I got stopped, and which is what ended up happening. But I had the two contracts without realizing it. But that's why when I got stopped and I was like, I got to look for my chance back in because I know I had a feeling it was going to work based on what I was seeing. And then when I was gonna look to enter, that's when I noticed my P and L was moving, and I was like, that's when I realized, oh shit, I have another contract in. But like my mind, I was needing to get myself ready to like, how do I not get discouraged from getting stopped and then looking for my opportunity to get back in?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
tried that getting back in, but it fucked me, dude. So many times.
Yeah,
Like
for me
like
too.
in the earlier parts of our trading journey or whatever, like I tried that shit and it fucked me.
Even now it fucks me. I look at my journal and my second loss almost all the time is a I mean my second trade almost all the time is a loss.
Yeah.
But that leads me to talk about the second thing I learned, which is just observing Eloy's trade. Um that idea of the CVD where because I was analyzing your trade and I was like, why did it not work? Because it looked good. Like it was the limit orders here. It pops up aggressively, pulls back again, and then pops up aggressively again. So like looking at based on our confirmations, this is the setup. But then if you look down at CVD here, you can see when limit orders got tested here one time, the first time, it pops up, and then on this pullback, selling is aggressive. And look at what CVD does. It makes a brand new low, pretty far away from the previous low here, and then it pops up, and then once it comes back and stops you out, that's when CVD finally makes that it like holds
Equal.
that previous low there. And that's what I was saying in the Discord when I responded to your trade, Eloy, is that the even look at here, like the fact that when we replay the tape, the CVD is not it doesn't even matter that it's not at the zero level. What matters is where it pulls back to when the price pulls back at the same time. Like we're looking at the same exact layout of the CVD, just in the negatives.
Yeah.
And yours, like even if I go to how I had it, because I took screenshots while it was happening too. So I you did point out that it held the zero level here, but that's almost irrelevant to what CVD is actually telling us in reality. Because here's that limit order test, the first one, it pops up super aggressive, and then it pulls back. And even here, you can see that it's making a CVD is making a new low. Yes, it's holding the zero level, but that's irrelevant to what CVD is actually telling us. Like I said, and then here you can see it's kind of squished, but this is that first limit order test. It pops up, pulls back, CVD makes that new low, and then it pulls back again where it stops you out. And that's finally when CVD holds that previous low. And then that's when the market actually takes that time to or
Bro.
has the opportunity to go and make the move. So everything I think you were seeing everything correct. Just that CVD confirmation was what was lagging behind.
So you want to get in after the deeper pullback
Yeah,
on CBD.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Um, so that's why, like, I mean, how we've set, I think if you see like my journal, I'm always putting the key level, the limit orders, and then the CVD. So it's three confirmations that need to be there. If CVD doesn't align with the limit order retest, and I'm saying like CVD is making a new low and the limit order retest is happening, then even though the setup could be, it still is valid. It may not be time for the market to bounce yet.
Mm,
So
Lord.
you want all three to be checked off. And what I think Eloy didn't realize, what he over uh compensated for, was seeing that it was holding that zero level when in reality it was actually making a new low.
There is something to that zero level though that I don't know if I'm supposed to untrain this for myself, but the zero line to me means there's no buyers or sellers, and therefore, if no one's trying to like take over that zero line, then that means whoever is trying to take over is the only one who's present. It would be different if we were like in some random range of CVDs where you can't really tell, but the zero to me tells me that there's nobody there, and therefore that's why I don't. Like I said, I don't know why I'm convinced of that, but and that's why I've always said the zero line helps me understand CVD better. And I get what you're saying because yeah, I was creating extra lows, and then that last low, it's even lower. But I guess what we were, I think we discussed it a couple of weeks ago. It didn't convincingly make a new low because we were seeing other trades where CVD was creating a new higher low, but it was still within that same range. And I felt like we were like discussing that as long as it doesn't like exaggeratedly break it, then it should still be fine. Because what that's showing us, like where you have the little yellow lines and it keeps getting lower and lower, is that the sellers are trying. The sellers are trying. And even though I'm seeing sellers try with tinier new lows, I'm being more convinced that the buyers aren't allowing. Buyers aren't allowing. And to me, that's easier to read at zero.
You may, I wouldn't say that there's no buyers or sellers. That I think is a completely wrong statement to say, because obviously there is buyers and sellers at all times. So I wouldn't say there's no buyers or
Mm-hmm.
sellers. But uh
I think the better way to say is they're equal strength, and like no one's has a pool higher than the other
Yeah.
or
exactly,
stronger
yes.
than the other.
I could agree with, but that's also telling us that no one has control yet. And you want to
Right.
get in when either side has control. So if no one has control yet,
Oh, so you wait for
you
CVD to
wait. It's
tell
not
you.
time to get in yet,
Got it.
if that makes sense, Eloy.
But wouldn't, I guess, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I guess the zero line is just showing me that no one has control. But look at the buyers are, I mean, the sellers are trying to gain control three times and they couldn't because there were stronger pushes of green than there is red. And I mean, like, yeah, obviously no one has control yet, but the fact that it can't break zero, I don't know why my brain is convinced that if you can't break the zero line, then that means you're not in. And I'm sure I'll be proven wrong later when I see it to the opposite.
No, I think you're right. I think it's just a different perspective on how to see it because you're right. The buyers there are clearly supporting the zero line,
Yeah.
but they're not strong enough to the point where they're just rallying like it's supposed to. So
Because
you gotta
we're seeing here, yes, it's holding the zero line, and you got in. So okay, let's say you're right here, but in reality, the buyers still weren't in control. So now you put yourself in a position where you're letting the market still come back and stop you out, because because like you said, there's no buyers or sellers in control yet. So they're still fighting. Why do you want to get in when they're still fighting, instead of waiting for that zero line to get tested again one more time, and then move with the correct participants? Here, where you got in, yes, we got the retest of the limit orders. Yes, we're holding the previous low, but the buyers and sellers are still fighting. So you're putting yourself at risk in this position.
I see what you're saying.
Whereas by waiting and letting those sellers come in, and now CVD retest that previous low, even if it made a higher low, like that's even acceptable. But I'm just saying, don't put yourself at risk if CVD is making a new low and we're testing those limit orders. Why put ourselves at risk of getting stopped out and losing money and having to deal with that mental battle of like, damn, can I get in again, rather than just waiting, letting them come back again, and then you get in with more confirmation, with more trust in the move.
Yeah, you can have more confidence if instead of getting in on that middle yellow pullback to the zero line, you can be like, okay, I'm gonna wait here. Buyers are clearly supporting the zero line. I'm gonna see what it does next, and it comes back and buyers support the zero line again. You could be like, okay, buyers want it higher. So right here, will give you more confidence that buyers are like gaining strength, pretty much.
Exactly. And another thing is, because I know Gabriel mentioned the idea of the HVN being it still could work, is that look at how even you mentioned, Eloy, that there is a HVN here. So this is your 45, this white line is the 45-minute demand. And you can see that if we ignore pre-market volume profile, obviously there's a HVN here, there's an HVN here. And look at how long it took for the market to finally uh move. It chopped in that area before the market finally bounced. So like I had said, when it's an HVN, it could work, but it may chop for a while before the move actually happens. So if in your mind you're like, okay, I have a 45-minute demand here, it's an HVN, I'm seeing CBD make new lows. You can almost already anticipate, like, even if this is a key level, it may take a little more time for that move to develop and finally bounce out of here. So that can even add another layer of confidence where it's like, yes, this is a good level to get long at, but let me be patient and wait for this chop to happen to finally let the move take off.
I was gonna say earlier, this looks like a good example of absorption, even though you're
Yeah.
saying chop. So I wonder if in the HVNs are we supposed to get absorption, and in the LVNs are we supposed to get quick moves, or that's already debunked? Like we've seen absorption in LVNs.
No, absorptions, you'll still see LVNs. Like if I'll go over my trade from Monday and it was an LVN and it still did have absorption,
Okay.
but absorption it can happen in HVN or LVNs. It's just that the absorption is going to be a lot faster in an LVN than inside a HVN for the most part.
All right.
So absorption can happen either in a slow manner or it can happen in a fast manner. A fast manner would be like super strong selling comes in fast as hell, and then you see a aggressive super fast pop, and then it pulls back, and then it takes off. In this case, it's slow absorption where you get that selling come in. You see, you can see the volume here. That's the first, maybe the second if you're considering this also the selling. So you get two larger sized red volume bars, and then here you get the strongest selling, which is almost right before you got in, and then you get another set of selling which pushes the market lower, but look at how the volume dies down here. This is even another sign where, okay, we've seen aggressive selling start to fail. Now market tried to push lower, it didn't, and now we're getting that pop up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the other thing I was gonna, I don't remember. I mean, we could replay it if you guys want, but this pop up, I don't remember how fast it occurred, but it looks like it happened pretty fast. So even if you didn't get in on this pop up, you can almost even wait for that reclaim here to get in. You get two chances. Either you get in on this pullback or you get in on this pop. But I didn't have the 45-minute demand, so it was hard for me to even try to acknowledge that. This I seen that in hindsight.
I feel like I'm starting to see this pattern that we're looking at, and what you just said based on the bubble pattern that we're looking at is to get in on the shallow pullback, or where do you find your entry price so that you can also calculate a good stop risk to reward? Because then, like, do we get in on those bottom low limit orders or the shallow pullback limit that you mentioned?
If it's a, I'm gonna go replay it. If it's a, if it's like that two touch absorption where it's retesting the limit orders twice, you can get in on the lows. If I don't see that two touch absorption, then I would consider that shallow pullback type of entry. What date was this?
This
The
was
30th.
the 27th. You're right.
Your trade was
Oh
no,
no
your
no,
trade
mine
the
was the 30th.
30th.
Oh my bad, the 30th. I had two on one paper.
What was the price of your 45?
71.61.
Exactly 71.61?
I didn't write down the. Hold on, let me see.
That's cool.
Oh, I deleted it.
All right, so fuck.
It was 71.61.75.
All right. And this is also where I was saying, like, I mean, it's harder for us to do it right now just because it would take quite some time, but replaying the tape at regular speed, uh, for like from when the moment it comes into the zone, just so that your eyes train in the speed of the tape. Because like, for example, here, this is that first pop. You want to see how this. I'll just show that part here.
You still want aggressiveness into the zone and
Yeah,
aggressiveness out of the zone.
yeah, like that's a key thing I've been paying attention to, and it helped me with my trade on Monday. Um, and that was even with the tape being slow itself. Like the tape just in general was slow around the time I entered. But here, okay, already we're getting some strong selling. CVD's making a new low here. So this seems to be the first part of that absorption move occurring. I think this is around here. This first sell, this green, I mean, this selling here right before 7 a.m. So obviously, yeah, we're at our demand zone, but there's no reason to enter. Even if I seen buying here, there's no reason to enter. CVD's making a new low. Okay, just off of what I'm seeing right now, buyers are trying to show their presence. That's all I'm aware of. Now, in my head, I'm sure this is also what you were thinking, Eloy, is I want to see that retest of these 7160 limit orders.
Yeah, because
Here we're
it's a 9 point
we're
push right now.
oh yeah, I remember you saying that. Here we're clearly getting strong buying. So buyers are trying to show their presence here. But that's why I'm saying, like, if we just sit here and watch this, it's kind of gonna suck. But you would want to replay this on your own. And I did this earlier for my personal trade, and I watched like 30 minutes of watching my setup, like from beginning to end, from when it got into my zone to when it popped out, just to see exactly how the tape is moving. Right now it's at X1 and the tape is seems to be moving pretty fast. So not fast. Oh shit, I didn't even expect that.
I started doing that too. Just yesterday, I spent like an hour just looking at one of the days to see the setups and stuff like that. And it's crazy how much you miss during the actual time you're trading
Hell yeah,
versus,
I was realizing that today too. I did notice that.
yeah.
So I'm gonna just replay it back to when the selling comes in again. Obviously, we know the buyers are showing their presence here.
We don't even look at outliers at all anymore.
Hell no.
Okay, here we got an aggressive sell order. So now sellers are trying to push the market lower. And here, as market's coming down, this is where you want to like pay attention to, okay, is CVD making a new low when it comes down to the limit orders? And how aggressive the selling is coming into those limit orders. So already we haven't even tested the limit orders and CVD is making a new low.
So it really doesn't matter whether it's green or red. It's just based what CBD is actually doing.
Exactly. That's why on the replay, it like yeah, it's not at the same exact level, same CVD level from the regular time, but it's making the same formation.
Yeah.
So here, look at how buyers aren't reacting the same way they were reacting here. Here it was like instant pop fast. So
Jack
this
called that.
already is them being a bit hesitant with CBD making a new low. But you can say, okay, buyers are still trying. They're still trying to show their presence, but maybe it's not ready yet.
Chat says you want a quick displacement.
Yes, that's super key. And I think you got in on this pullback, right, Eloy?
Yeah. How come the replays never show the zero, huh? Or never show
It just
CBD exact?
never aligns at the same price. I mean, the same. I don't even know what this number is called.
Up until your lecture today, to me, I was like, I could care less what new low CBD makes. If you ain't breaking zero, you ain't
I
convincing.
mean, dude, like I can see where your head was at because this would have tricked me too. That first rally and then the pullback to the limit orders, that would have got me. I would have probably gotten in on that red, like the actual red bubble.
Which red bubble? The one before? While it
The,
was.
the the second retest of the limit orders, that red bubble at the lows, yeah, right there. I would have probably got in right there and got
And
stopped out.
previously, I think I would have too, but I've been trying to force myself to wait for that a
Yeah.
displacement that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And even on the displacement, chat has told me that sometimes I'm getting in too early because I like how Eloy handled it, where he waited for this pullback and then he got in. Because sometimes this can be a trick where it's like, buyers are showing their presence and then boom, it comes back down. Whereas I'm starting to realize I did this on Monday too. I let the buyers come in and then I want to see those sellers try one more time and I need to get in on that next aggressive push.
'Cause
But
looking at it
sometimes
now,
what was that?
go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say, looking at it now, now that we're explaining it, this first after the second pullback, this first little rally right here before Eloy gets in, looking at it now, to me, that's not enough.
Yeah. Specifically for me, based on how it popped up. It
Yeah.
just was very slow, laggy comparing to how it popped up here. And I bet you if we look at that next one when it pulls back the third time, I bet you that the way it pops up there is going to be a lot faster and more aggressive.
I've been saying, dude, when you see the setup, it's so obvious.
Yeah. So, all right, here we know like okay, the move is trying, the buyers are trying, but they're not. Just look at the enthusiasm from them. It's not really there the way it was. So if we fast forward a bit, sellers come back one more time here. Now they're going to make that new low as CBD pulls back and holds the previous low.
CBD is gonna break this low.
Yeah.
No, it holds it. Like
Oh,
barely.
okay.
Oh no, no, no. I was thinking of price. Price makes a new low.
Yeah. So boom, here's the new low on price. Now I'm watching CBD, see if it holds that previous low. I'll even like do this with my mouse.
Yeah, I do
Or
that
like
too.
I'll see like, all right, is it holding it?
That's funny how we all do that.
Yeah.
Look at that. The way it's moving here. Okay, buyers are trying. I would like it to be more aggressive. But look at how aggressive this selling. Okay, that right there is nice. Either you get in right there or you wait for one more.
So I was really trying right here.
Yeah. CBD holding that previous low. You could get in on that. And you can even still be more patient and tell yourself, okay, this is a reclaim.
It's not the cleanest, but it is more aggressive than the previous one.
Yeah.
CBD's curling up a little bit. Look at the previous rally. I just want to compare to this one. This one was more a little sideways compared to this one.
This one was more sideways.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah.
Whereas this one was just kind of straight up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it pulled back, but it kind of just went straight up.
But even think about how like this one kind of like the lagginess of it, and this one was more like boom, boom. Like it was like three pops pretty fast.
Yeah.
But what would you call this setup if it tested different limit orders? Because I think this is the last time it pulls back. It is.
I think it's still the same, right?
It's absorption. It's just honestly that's where I struggle with like the labeling of shit
Yeah.
because it's like it is absorption, but the way you're entering is a little different. Because yeah, you're late if you're up here by then. So you really had these two chances here, this one or this one.
Hey, were you scared, Eloy, when you got stopped out and then you still saw a profit move?
It's weird because I stopped looking at it for a second. Because like if you look at from when I got stopped, I forgot what I was looking at, but I stopped looking at the at Ninja Trader for like a minute, and then I didn't realize I was still in the trade. And then at that point, once I got stopped, I was like looking for another entry because I still had faith in it. And then that's when I looked up and I was about to click buy, and then I saw my profit moving, and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
Damn, dude, that shit would scare the fuck out of me.
And it was funny too because when it first said stop, I saw that it said I lost $10, and then within a quick second, it said 850, and I was like, but I didn't even. I don't know why I didn't pay that any mind. I was like, oh, maybe it's charging me the fee for the trade or something. I don't know. It was just like $1.50 less, and then I looked at it, and then I looked away, but I didn't keep looking at it where I realized, oh, it's still moving. But that was my first exposure at two contracts. I'm ready, bro.
Yeah, you managed it well.
I would have got out early out of
Yeah,
fear.
me too. I would have freaked the fuck out and just stopped again.
And then
Closed
once
it.
again, I don't know what is it about the trades that we have all taken where it hits our target. It does like a crazy shallow pullback, but not all the way to our break even or our original stop. And then it goes even further past our target. And that's like the new thing I'm interested in understanding.
That shit pisses me off.
Oh, fucking yeah.
But I'm starting to get it because I'm like, well, we are looking when we want to get into a trade, we're looking for where it's going to reverse at. And I guess I don't know. I'm just kind of like, well, if this is going to reverse, it's not going to reverse just for 10-point targets. It's going to have to reverse for like a serious move. I don't. I mean, that's just like random thinking, but I just think like, yeah, this is something's going to happen. Like it's reversing at your demand zone for a reason, not for no 10 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to see
I
what
mean,
was
you
your
you did
target.
It already hit my target. It was 77.
77.
Is didn't you hold this though?
Did it? Okay, then maybe then I'm not sure. I thought it was already hit.
Because here it's at
Oh
seventy
yeah,
six
because I
fifty.
remember saying it didn't hit my target by 1 point.
Dude, I've been so scared right
I was thinking of adding another contract, bro.
here.
I was trying to think like, would it like say you did miss this? Would I be would I trust it to get in again? Like actually get in here, but that's scary. CVD is still holding that previous low though. But it feels like I'd be chasing almost at this point.
Just want to leave runners, man.
For real. Um I mean, yeah, that I guess that's the setup. So the to answer your question, Eloy, it would be getting in on this little pullback here and on that next set of buying. That's probably where I would enter. Right now in the stage that I feel like I'm in, I would be like, okay, buyers popped up, showed their presence. Now let me wait for sellers to try one more time and then get in on that next pop. So I'd get in around maybe like 61, set my stop around 57, 4 points.
Yeah.
Mhm. What? Any questions on that?
No, it's making sense.
So That's why I was pushing back on you on that zero line idea.
For sure, I get it.
That was the setup though. That was the setup was
Yeah.
there.
Um, and then my trade on Monday,
Was it a long or a short?
along. It just took forever.
When are we gonna review my winning trades?
When are we gonna review your trade in general?
I was just telling Eric, I was like, when I started this shit 2 years ago, you guys would take trades every day, and now this I got.
Eric, nine trades a day.
I feel like something got you discouraged, Gabe. You ain't traded in a while consistently.
It's these all time highs. My rules: I don't trade at all time highs. Secondly, they don't pull back, so none of my demand zones are getting hit, and all my supply zones are getting blasted through. So I'm like, what the fuck do I do? I was actually gonna ask Carmine, like, hey, like, how can I maneuver around this if our setup's not appearing? But I feel like he's just gonna be like, you just gotta wait or something, wait for better conditions or read order flow better or some shit.
He's like, you're on the bronze tier of membership, so it's like yes or no answers should be enough for you.
Dude, I wanted to join that academy thing, but that thing's $3,000, dude.
Damn.
I know, it's fucking
That's
crazy.
crazy that he's charging people that and then taking all these crazy ass trades and people just seeing him do that. He needs to be like way more disciplined for $3,000.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, even if I do know how to do what he's doing, like, I'm probably not gonna do that. It seems so like crazy to me. But he knows what he's doing.
He seemed more disciplined when you guys first paid for it.
Oh yeah. Once he got that cowboy hat though, man, shit.
Did that happen? I missed that one.
Whenever he makes like over a certain amount of money, he puts a cowboy hat on.
Damn.
That's how you know it's a good day for him.
So this is when the market first came into. Oh wait, this is way earlier. My bad. Tripping. This was the first test of demand, but it never. So when it first came down, I didn't see a limit order retest. We did get this pop, and it did pop up aggressively, but there's the setup just didn't appear for me. CVD was at a new low. It just didn't make sense to even try it. And then finally later, after all right, so here's when it finally came back down to retest the limit orders. Uh just looking again, looking at the tape here. I won't play it all the way through, but as it's coming down, we have limit orders down here at 71.81. So mentally I'm thinking like, all right, I want it to come down a little deeper into the zone. CBD's at new low. Oh no, it's higher lows here. Yeah, it's higher lows. But the tape starts to slow down pretty significantly here, so I was pretty hesitant on even having interest. Limit orders started to like pair up as it came down, so I was like, I don't really feel comfortable with even considering this.
Chat told me if it's just cruising down into your zone, not aggressively, then be cautious.
Yeah, for sure.
It could still work, but you gotta be more cautious.
Yeah. So see, I seen this pop here from buyers, and I was like, okay, we're at my demand zone. Like you said, The tape as it came down into the zone, it was pretty slow. So I'm like, let me not even try to uh, rush it here. I was okay with it bouncing without me. And now this is where that idea of rewatching the tape on your own time becomes important because it's like we're looking at it at X1 and I want to see that these buyers like really show that presence, but it's not. It's almost like what we were seeing earlier where it's like they pop up but it's kind of like laggy here. It's not showing that through. One, the selling coming into the zone was pretty insignificant, and two, the way the buyers are showing their presence is just not convincing at the moment. And three, that those limit orders are just kind of like not really strong there the way these limit orders down at 7180 are. So those three things are already telling me like, okay, don't be so rushed to try to enter this. Also, we're getting closer to 8:30, so my mind is just like I'm very cautious here. And I am speeding this up a bit, but just this whole. Oh, the other thing is, uh, the candles are overlapping here, so that to me was a red flag. I was just like, I don't want to get in while candles are overlapping. Also, if you look at the NQ, so here we're around right here. So you can even see on the 5 minute they're overlapping each other. And then looking at NQ, it was breaking the demand zone, breaking under the demand zone here. So that also was a red flag. But I did tell myself if NQ can reclaim and hold above while ES reclaims my 90-minute demand. So if both of them can reclaim, then that to me is going to be a good sign. Plus, I was seeing weakness on VX. So I was still interested in the zone, but I was like, I need to be very cautious of when I'm entering. So we get like 15 minutes of just candles overlapping here.
So what would you make of CVD? Because it looks like it's trailing down.
Yeah, to me, it's like it's just the setup just isn't ready
Okay.
yet. But I am looking at these 7180 orders. So I was like, okay, let me see what happens once price comes down to these if price comes down to these 7180 orders. And yeah, I'm seeing limit orders here, but like I said, the overlappingness of the price of price, the choppiness of how slow it's moving, just these limit orders are not what I'm really what I'm having interest in. So finally, we start to get some move to the downside, and now
So do you always go for the deeper limit orders?
it's right now specifically because of how slow the tape was moving. That's why I
Oh,
was like, let me wait for those deeper limit orders.
okay.
Okay, so now we start to get some movement here, showing clear aggression. But I'm not seeing any limit orders down here. So that to me is like, I was just like, I'm not comfortable even trying to get in at the lows. So this already here, I'm starting to think, okay, I need to see a reclaim in order for this to be something valid I'm interested in, especially because we're getting closer to 8:30. So there's no limit orders down here. I don't want to be trying to reverse the lows. I want to see acceptance above demand. Plus that idea that I mentioned about NQ, I wanted to see that I didn't want to see it keep breaking down under demand. I wanted to see it reclaim back into demand.
So it broke the zone right now.
Yeah, NQ had already broke under demand. So
Oh, that was NQ. Okay, okay. I
yeah,
thought it's
but ES is still inside my zone. And I like this bind that I'm seeing here. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I want to see it pop above and then hold above the 90-minute demand. So a reclaim plus acceptance. But I like how aggressive sellers were here. And then buyers quickly tried to bounce this back up. Sellers tried again here. And look at how the selling died down when they tried to pull it back again. You can see the volume of the selling start to die down a bit. So already here, I'm thinking to myself, I'm seeing absorption at the moment because of how aggressive the selling was, and they're struggling to break lower. And when they pop out of here, they pop out pretty aggressively. And here's another attempt from sellers, and again, it's on lower volume of selling. I'm liking this buying here. But I need to see it pop up above. And personally, I would want to see them try to test this 85, 80, 85, 86 area. Like try to eat these limit orders up, pull back, and then pop up.
So are you still looking for a certain amount of points it needs to rally before you enter? Or you don't
I
care about that?
I wasn't considering the points. It is something I think about, but because these limit orders were here and because of the consolidation that was occurring over here, the high of this consolidation is around 71.86. So in my head, I'm like, I want to see buyers try to break out of this, pull back, hold above the 90-minute demand, and then rally out.
Mm.
Because I'm like, okay, this is obviously going to be resistance because it was resistance earlier. We have these limit orders here. So this 85 to 86, 87 area is going to be some resistance. So I'm expecting price to rally aggressively into here, reject, pull back, hold, and then pop back out.
Hmm.
And especially, I like how this buying is occurring. I'm on X1, so this is as close as I can get to regular speed.
And
But
so,
clearly, we see absorption down here at the lows.
and would you make that low your stop?
No, my low ends. I mean, my stop ends up becoming the limit orders under this 80, these 81 this area. Once it pulls back, the limit orders get heavy here, and my stop ends up being around 81.80 here.
Mm.
So even as this is rallying, I'm looking at this here, this 81 order appearing and disappearing like this. And I'm like, okay, the reclaim, I mean the reclaim and acceptance above is possible. I can in my head imagine it popping up. It's doing what I said, popping up to this resistance. And I can imagine it coming down and these 81 orders reappearing. And that's exactly what happens.
Damn, you got crystal ball or what?
Wow, you can just see them trying to show their presence.
Uh,
Could you zoom out real quick? I wonder if limit orders popped up right there. Yeah, they did.
boom.
Where were you talking about, Eloy?
The ones that you were gonna place your stop underneath. I just wonder sometimes if they popped up or made an appearance earlier,
Oh,
and they did. Not that that's part of
Right?
it, huh?
over?
I just wanted to see if those limit orders appeared earlier, and they did, but they didn't do anything with them like when they put prices at like 71,
Oh
81.
yeah.
So
So
right here,
this is
do you feel like you missed it right here? Like, are your emotions like getting like, what the fuck?
yes, but no, because I've been seeing this happen more frequently.
Mm,
Like, yeah, part of me is like, damn, this may have been moved, but I'm also like, okay, I know acceptance needs to show at some point.
yeah. And I guess that's part of the game too. You're just gonna miss some shit.
Yeah, and
I
we
was gonna
are.
say,
Go
oh,
for it.
I was just gonna say the limit orders that appear are pretty much in the LVN too.
Yeah, exactly. That was another thing that added the strength to my confidence. It's like right there, like perfect. Now I'm looking at this selling, and I'm like, okay, it's like weak. It's not coming down super aggressive. I like that. That's like that shallow pullback idea that I want to see. You don't want to see
Oh,
them come back super hard.
oh, so on the pullback, it needs to be kind of like slowish.
Yeah,
Okay.
because now buyers have proved themselves, and now you want to see sellers start to struggle.
Mm, I
And
never considered that.
this is where I'm saying I don't want to get in on the first buying that appears here. Yeah, I have these limit orders sitting here. I I don't want to get stuck in, like, say buyers just pop up right now. I want to wait them for them to pull back one more time for me to really get in, because I don't want to get stuck in chop on this acceptance.
Yeah.
So there's those 81 orders again. I'm seeing this LVN here. I'm liking that. I'm liking this buyer presence, but it's still not super convincing. I like that CBD is making a higher low. If I zoom out, I like how the absorption looks here, the buying, the pullback. This is all looking very clean for a reclaim acceptance. The only thing stopping me here is just how like laggy the buying is. So yes, it still looks clean to me, but I just don't feel like it's ready.
How does CVD look zoomed out? I guess it's holding support, I guess.
Like it's
Yeah.
absorbing.
And remember, on a shallow pullback type of thing, like, don't expect CVD to make an aggressive drop.
Yeah.
So I like that these limit orders appeared when this buying came. Now I'm like, okay, now I need to get in on the next attempt lower. This
So
is
are you,
where this is where I got more emotional, because I was like, fuck, I may have missed it.
yeah. So by this point, do you get in at 82 exactly or
I
a little
wait,
lower?
it pulls back to like 82, and then I get in like at 83.50.
Oh, because you're waiting for the aggression. You're the
Yeah,
rally or whatever. Oh, okay, okay.
exactly.
Got it.
And once I see this, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have my chance. It's gonna come back to somewhere around here. This
What's your
hyping
what's
me
your,
up.
what's your target at this point?
VWAP.
Oh,
VWAP was my first target, but I did feel like it could keep bouncing out higher, because the whole day we were going back and forth like that, or the whole morning. So here's that pullback, and see how the selling is laggy here, and even looking at the volume, it's just super low presence. I was hesitating for sure on this buying, because I was like, is this it? I kind of was like, damn, could it pull back a little more?
yeah. I would be like
And it
getting
was
this.
after 8:30, so I was like, fuck, I'm pretty nervous about this.
Do you trade till 9 now or what?
No, just it was at my zone and I seen this absorption and I was like, okay, this there's something brewing here.
Uh,
I got in right. See how if I would have got in on this, I would have been stuck stressing out here.
does it go near your limit orders or your stop?
Not fully. I got in on this next pop that occurs.
Were you sweating right here?
Fuck yeah. I got in here on that pop. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it.
4 point
It's only one
stop.
point, anyways.
Yeah. So then I set my stops under this 81 here because I remembered that limit order that kept appearing. And then this is really where I started sweating because I was like, oh shit, this is coming back. It could stop me out. So I was in by this point. It
See,
does try.
this is where I'm too strict with myself. I would have to wait until it goes back into my demand zone, and that's where it messes me up. Then I end up just not taking anything.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like I was like that too. It's just that you gotta this is where the replay idea is super important because we seen how this obviously we see this rally here, so that's a reclaim, and you see that pullback, and this buying is the acceptance. This is acceptance, and then seeing this selling stalling like that is the other portion of the acceptance. So either you can get in on this, and that's going to be a pretty stressful trade, or you what this is what chat was telling me where I was getting in on this pop and it was like you're putting yourself at a bit more risk than if you waited for that one more pullback and get in on the next aggression. Because at this point it gives you time to accept that okay, sellers keep trying and they're just not able to do anything here. Volume is dying down, CVD's holding higher low, and then seeing this push from buyers is like, okay, I need to put risk on.
All right, next week I'm taking a fucking trade, dude.
As long as it's the setup. And this is where I was like, okay, here we go. But it was still, I think since it was after 8:30, it was still a choppy ass ride up, it felt.
I know your ass was happy when it did this shit.
Fuck yeah. And then as for my target, I was looking at what did I say? It was 89 where VWAP was, and I seen that this is where the selling had started earlier. So that was my target at this point. But see how it took a while to finally go. Like I'm speeding this up and this is 8:42 to so like 15 minutes of just waiting.
Sick ass fool.
I try.
This your cousin, Gabe?
And there's the and I had to go to work, which sucked because I wanted to hold it longer, but I got out on this around here.
Damn.
It had popped slightly over VWAP, but
Much
I
better
kind of
though.
felt it didn't feel ready to fully drop either. That was the trade though.
Pretty good, pretty good.
And even if you zoom out, like this absorption is what was the most convincing because this right here, and then that pop up, that's absorption, reclaim, and then this is the acceptance.
The thing I'm noticing is that from both your trades, both setups were there. It's just different ways they
Yeah,
showed themselves.
exactly. And both are absorption.
Yeah, both are absorption, and they were there. Like you can tell they were there, and you guys executed on them, and you guys saw things differently, and it just worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, one was a less experienced but more skilled, and the other, it's like, I don't know.
But the one thing I do want to emphasize is like replay the tape on X1. Like when you do see a setup, from the moment it starts to fall into the zone, I would say replay it from there till it pops out of your zone because that you're really going to see a lot of information here. Like you said, Gabriel, that you didn't see in real time.
Yeah.
Because in real time, you're one stressing out because you're like, fuck, am I gonna miss this or whatnot? So your mind isn't fully taking in all the information. And then if you
Exactly.
speed it up in replay, you're not gonna see that real tape speed.
Yeah.
I know Eloy, you don't replay the tape a lot, but I really highly suggest it.
You really do miss a lot of shit. I been doing that since Eric said to replay it at one, and I was like, fuck, man, can't believe I missed all this stuff.
I mean, that's all on me for not reviewing on my own. But I had prior, or I mean, before I was reviewing, and yeah, I saw that stuff as well. I was like, well, this is way much more information. Like I would rewatch like a 30-second segment, like rewinded so many times.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure.
I spent like 2 pages of notes on like just one trade. Like I don't know. I just right now my timing and my lifestyle is just I'm being lazy about it.
I was gonna ask you guys when you guys replay book map, do you guys like write notes and stuff? Like I'll draw, I'll I'll do the drawing on the book maps, like how I journal when I post them on Discord. But as far as like notes, I don't really take them.
That's
You guys do that?
interesting. I don't write it in my journal, but I found myself that I have this notes thing on my laptop. And I think I do it more because I'm like, all right, what am I going to discuss with you guys during review? So, like
Uh,
today, where I wrote the three things that I learned from the week, that's kind of more where I do that in my notes. And I think I do that a lot when I'm reviewing the tape on my own.
okay.
Like, I just have a little notes thing, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm seeing from the tape. But it's not like super detailed, it's more like an overview of what I learned from that review.
Mm.
But I think that that is super helpful. But yeah, it's just processing that information.
Nope.
But honestly, this review hyped me up because I feel like we're really seeing the repetitiveness of the absorption, although it does happen differently. Like the absorption, we're seeing the absorption.
Yeah. Like we're noticing the nuances of the
Yeah,
setup.
exactly. And those are the things like this idea of the absorption, reclaim, acceptance. I know we've done a review where I've gone over this acceptance before.
Yeah.
So like there's repetitive things to this. It's just like you said, there's nuances to all of them.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yes, sir. I don't got much else here.
No, I'm good. That was tight.
It's a good one.
Yes, sir. What y'all working on next week?
Shit. Same shit. Different day, man. Trying to identify the setups and actually taking them, not being a little fucking bitch. That's it, pretty much. Just
I think
trying to,
really replaying the tape for you is gonna make you way more confident.
yeah. But it's also these conditions, though. Like, yeah, like I'm too scared to take a trade or whatever. But it's also these conditions. Like, I would probably take enough trade last week if they were a little better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because even my trade, it kind of took. If I didn't wait for for after 8:30, I wouldn't have had a trade this week, basically.
Yeah. Because in
And
February, I was taking trades like crazy, and I lost so much money. But I was taking the trades. But
yeah,
I got to
Yep.
review more. I got to add that to my lifestyle because I think about it a lot. I know, and I beat myself up about just thinking about it. Like, stop thinking about it, start doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get started for me. So I know where you're coming from. But once I have Bookmap open, then I just go into flow state.
Yeah,
smoke a little J.
I stopped smoking
Lock
since
in.
November, bro. Schoolboy Q stopped. I stopped.
This guy.
Yeah,
You
dude.
bummed me out, Eric, with
Well,
that.
for me, it's gonna be just the speed of the tape again. That's really what I want to get comfortable with. I feel like, yeah, I'm seeing it, but I'm not fully comfortable with it.
Yeah. I also gotta identify like how you have your stuff written, like the acceptance on each section and squared off,
Oh
and
yeah,
and all that shit. Like I need to identify that too. The absorption, yeah, like that stuff.
yeah,
And you like label them.
yeah. That definitely helps for sure. Because when you see it happening in real time, it's almost like you have it noted because you have screenshots of it in your mind.
Yeah. Learned a lot
So,
today.
yes, sir. Lock
Hey,
in.
let us know how that 19 keys thing goes.
I know. Hopefully, it goes smooth.
Damn.
Today,
And you got work? What?
what?
You got work the next day too?
Yeah.
Damn, you're gonna go home like at 11 something.
Fuck it.
Tight.
Lock in.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all.
And wake up at 5 or 6:30 or whatever the fuck, 6.
It's a